Hey there you guys, it's Irene from irenelion.com, and I wanted to make a very quick info video around a common theme I see all the time, and many of us in the world of wellness, fitness, healing, health, etc., medicine aren't really aware of this sort of fact, conundrum, reality, and it has to do with trauma. In other words, the T word, trauma. Now, the reason I'm thinking about this is I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and the guest was talking about his early trauma and how that really contributed to depression earlier in life, being overweight as a kid, and just having a real difficult time with anxiety, and how that sort of plays out in his adult life these days. Now, I'm not going to talk about this person and who this person is, but it's a common theme that I hear all the time. Now, the first thing that I want to spell out is that in my line of work, trauma is not actually in the event. It is in the nervous system, in our nervous system. And I want to give you an example to sort of show this point. This is something that I see all the time in my private practice here in this office of mine. And that is someone that comes into my office and they have had a fairly good life. They think that they haven't had any adverse experiences. But then they have had like a car accident, say 2 years prior. And since that car accident, they have had horrendous physical pain, chronic pain, headaches, fear, panic, anxiety, digestive troubles, all sorts of really bad, yucky stuff that they never had before these car accidents or a car accident. And people often think it's the car accident's fault. And in many ways we could say it is, but in many ways what's happened is the accident or the traumatic event has shocked their system into feeling what has already been there from the beginning. So I'm going to give another example. If you imagine two people that get into the exact same car accident, let's say it's like carbon copy, 5-mile-per-hour fender bender, let's say. One person walks away with a little bit of a sore neck, a little bit of whiplash, but within a week or two, they're back to normal, they're back to their life, they're full functioning, they can sleep, they have no phobia of driving, they're just normal again. Person B, or the other person, they have this very light fender bender, like 5 miles per hour, and they walk away feeling completely awful. And like I mentioned a second ago, over the course of a few months and even over the course of a year and a few years, their health just declines. It declines considerably, and no one can figure out what the heck is wrong with them. So here's the thing, is the trauma in the actual event, or is it in the nervous system? And I would say, from what I've experienced and what I've learned in all of my work, that the trauma is actually in the nervous system, and the nervous system is what we call dysregulated. Now here's the next catch. That dysregulation was most likely there before the accident. I'm going to give you another analogy. Imagine a cup of water that is completely full. So full that if you put more water in, it's going to spill out the other, it's going to just spill out, right? Put the water in, no more room, it's going to come out. This is what occurs in the human system. When we have had stress, accumulated stress, adverse experiences, traumatic events, if we grew up in a situation that was unsafe, whether it's in a war-torn country or just in a household where our parents hate each other, so many instances where that happens, where there's just chronic stress amongst the parents and the kids feel it. The kids feel everything, by the way. If we grow up in that kind of a situation, our little systems, our little nervous systems go into what's called fight, flight, and often the freeze response. And we carry that with us into our adult ages. Then what happens is we have a big event, like a stressful car accident or a breakup, or we go to grad school and we're under tons of stress, and then all of a sudden all these symptoms and signs come out. That is a sign that that nervous system, that person, has kind of had a cup that's been full their entire lives. And then they wonder, why has this car accident caused all these problems? And I can tell you, it's not the accident that is the main culprit. It's all the other stuff that's been piled up in the body, in the mind, in the cellular system for some people decades. So what I want you to learn from this is that it's not necessarily the events that are the stressful elements or traumatic. It's how our body responds to the event that is what we want to look at. So in other words, if you are someone that knows that when you have the tiniest little bit of stress, it throws you off, or you have been that person that has had this car accident or a life event that's been really horrific and it's cascaded this like domino effect of health problems, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you seek out some really good work to help regulate your nervous system back to a baseline. Now, this isn't something that can happen just overnight. It doesn't even happen in a month. It takes time and it takes patience and it takes care. One of the things we want to make sure is we want to reestablish safety back into the system. We want to reorient to the body. We want to reconnect to the body, and then we want to do some really good work, either one-on-one with someone or in some form of group program where we're actually relearning what it means to have a regulated nervous system. So I'm going to leave it at that. Obviously, this is what I do. This is what I practice. I have courses that can help with this. So if you are interested in learning about your nervous system and what might have thrown it off in the first place, what it takes to re-regulate that system and get it healthy again, I would love to help you out. You can head over to my website and there'll be links below this video where you can learn more about this process. I've got a lot of free stuff, a lot of goodies, and some paid programs too that many people are finding incredibly useful in the healing of their nervous systems and the trauma that is stuck inside. I will leave it at that for now. Take very good care and leave me a comment, send me a note. I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.